Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I don't know why I keep trying to do new intros. I've cut it out from videos, but it's weird, super weird. But hope you all are having a great day, or evening, or morning, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. But what I'm gonna be talking about is music, right? It's been a while since I talked about music. It's been I think like 2 months, maybe even three. But I'm talking about music because I kind of had a little resurgence listening to more albums that I missed out on. Me and a friend of mine were just talking about some albums that he listened to that he thinks I would like, and I just been going through listening to artists that dropped music while I haven't been listening, and just giving those a listen, seeing what I like, pulling out songs that I like from, and putting them into a playlist, and having that discussion about like, oh, listening to albums holistically versus listening to them in a playlist in a confined space, it's it's a whole nother discussion that I'm not ready to have because I'm not really a music reviewer slash a music fan. I just like listening to music. I just like listening to the art form where some songs are hype, some songs are sad, some songs just appeal to different moods and just different people, you know? Like, I primarily listen to hip hop and that type of genre. Sometimes I branch out and go to like other languages like Japanese or Spanish because I am Hispanic, but I primarily listen to hip hop and American artists. So I float around that area and sometimes explore, but I can't speak on it. I feel like I don't have a place or enough information to speak on that. Like, what's the better way to consume it? Because, to be honest with you, if I had to answer, I'd say there isn't. There isn't a better way. It's just whether do you like listening to albums that are getting a whole story, or do you like listening to self-contained pieces that are like, oh yeah, like Kendrick Lamar, all right, that song is a part of Pippa Butterfly, but you're not listening to the whole thing. You're not getting the whole story. You're just getting all right or you or stuff like that. But regardless, that's a whole nother video. What I'm actually going to be talking about is Trippie Redd, right? And some of you may know him, some of you may not. But Trippie Redd's an American rap artist who's been around since like 2016, 2017. He's dropped multiple albums, had a lot of success, probably has a lot of money. I don't remember if he's from New York or somewhere, but he is like I think an East Coast rapper if I remember correctly. If not, then just tell me down below if I'm wrong or stupid. But Trippie Redd's been around for a long time. He's about to be around for 10 years once like 2026 or 2027 rolls around. But he's been around for a while. He blew up around that SoundCloud era, so he was around the likes of XXXTentacion, Ski Master, Slump God, Juice World, 6ix9ine, people like that, right? So what the reason I'm talking about him is because he dropped an album earlier this year in January called Mansion Music, and I wanted to talk about it because, good lord, this album, wow, this album is bad. I didn't even like. I'm making this video not as like a music reviewer or a music fan. I'm making this as a Trippie Redd fan because what was that, bro? I listened to all of that album, right? 25 songs, and the first song was a dead giveaway of wow, what am I in for with this album? There is literally swag like Ohio 2 on this album. And it wasn't even that bad. It was probably one of the better songs on this album. That's crazy to me. Genuinely crazy. Like, if I had to tell you guys what my favorite song from the album was, it was the one Lucky song. I think it's called Die Die, where him and Trippie are just on like a Sega Genesis type beat, which is usually what I like from Trippie Redd, those type of beats, or those like guitar strings type of beats, so like that Rod Wave or Polo G rap on. But Trippie Redd, he was just, oh my gosh, he was in rare form of trash. Like, I don't even, and I don't want to be mean by saying this because this is somebody's or well, I want to say passion, but more like this is somebody's work, right? Somebody put effort, time, and ability into this project, and they make a lot of money off of it. I don't want to drag it like, oh wow, you're a bad person for making this. No, not at all. But I'm looking at the art piece itself, right? Because when you put something out into the world, it's going to be judged by people because people will judge no matter what it is, right? And that's just an ugly side of a human being. But goodness gracious, this album really just like it hurts because the only reason I'm making this video is because of the fact that there's one album that Trippie Redd made, one album that I love to death. Like it's one of, well, it's his best album for me for sure. Like it's my favorite, no doubt. but it was one of my favorite albums from 2018, and honestly, from the past decade, because it was just so good. Like, uh, well, not a love letter to you, but Life's a Trip, I think is what it's called. That album was such a genuine surprise and was the reason why I got into Trippie Redd. Like, besides my friend Jordan, excuse me, I didn't mean to drop that name. I'm so sorry. A friend of mine who introduced me to him because of a song. There's like, "Yo, love is my medicine when I'm up." That song, I forgot what it's called, but he introduced me to it. But besides that, after that, I went to go listen to the album, and it was like, "Yo, this album's so good. Like, it's so good." And so I was like, man, I'm gonna give him more listens. I'm gonna listen to his catalog, and I found some good gems. I found some gems. The Love Letter to You series, Life's a Trip. The the exclamation point album wasn't really that good, in my opinion. I didn't like it, but stuff just kept coming out, and I was like, okay, okay, this is good. It's not this album, but it's alright. It's okay. It's giving me songs that I can put in my playlist at the very least. The album itself may not have replayability, but it is what it is, right? Not You're not always gonna strike out the first time, but it just kept decreasing in quality. Like the exclamation point album, I didn't like it. A Love Letter to You 4, it was good, but it was long, and that's when you start seeing the trend. Trippie Redd releasing long albums for no reason. Why was a Love Letter to You 4 deluxe? Why did they need to have one? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why. Just release the album in its entirety. It's the deluxes are also its own thing where it's like you can have a video on it. I personally don't like them. I feel like if you're gonna make an album, holistically or realistically release what you want to release on it, and don't put a deluxe, because most of the time the deluxes were meant to not be on the album for a reason. You're getting more money, but as an artist, if I were in their shoes, right? And obviously, like, I didn't have pressure from the label. There was no outside circumstances. Like, if I had the whole decision to release the deluxe or not, I would choose not to. I would just make the album and release it, because I just think deluxes are so they're they're, they're not pointless because they're meant to bring you more songs, but with the way that they're handled is so stupid. I don't want to listen to the album again a week later. Like, no, just either wait a while if you're not going to release new music, or don't. Just don't release it, period. But I don't know. It's, man, that's a whole other topic. Basically, Trippie Redd, Mansion Music, I feel like I'm a disappointed father listening to this album because I was so disappointed. I went from listening to Her Loss, because that was the one of the albums I didn't listen to going to Mansion Music. And good God, Her Loss was like a magnum opus from Drake with Mansion Music. Like, it sucks, man. I don't want to drag it. I don't want to drag the album because Trippie Redd has made so many good songs for me, so many songs that I will go back to and listen. But I just can't defend it. This album is not that good. It hurts to say that. Like, it's not that it's a bad album. It's painfully average, and that's what makes it bad for me because I've mentioned it a lot. Average anything is worse to me than a bad something, because I can at least laugh at the bad something or get or take something away from it, or even get some enjoyment from it. But a painfully average thing is so mediocre and so like, what's the word? It doesn't provoke anything. It's just so unbelievably average, so unbelievably mid, if that's honestly the word that can describe it. Like, and that I don't like that. I genuinely do not like stuff like that because you tried enough to do something, but not enough to be better than what the average would be for that something, and that sucks. Like, that genuinely just sucks because I know Trippie Redd has made great music. It just sucks that it is not better than what he it's going to be going forward from what it seems like. Because this album was, I'm going to put features on these songs. I'm going to have two songs, or at the very least, I think two songs, that are just me, and everybody else is just features. And it's going to be 25 songs, an hour and 16 minutes. It's going to be bloated, basically. It's a bloated album that does not need to be this long. There is no need. There you need no need. You could trim down 10 to 12 songs, have a 13 song album, and it will probably be better. Not by a lot, but it will probably be better. But no, 13 songs, excuse me, 25 songs, an hour and 16 minutes, a feature in almost all the songs except for like two of them that were just Trippie Redd. It was just too much. It's painfully average for how much there is on this album. I wouldn't mind it if it was like, oh, if it was 13 songs that were all good and above. But no, it's 25 average songs that I do not care to listen to except for one of them. And it was because of the beat and the feature. Trippie Redd, I don't know what to say. I'm gonna keep listening. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep listening because I'm a fool. I It's the same way I can't stop going back to Overwatch. Is the same way I can't stop going to Trippie Redd. I'll either fall out of his music naturally, or I'll torture myself going forward. But I'm gonna still keep coming back because I still have that hope. I still have that hope that Trippie Redd can make something, something that will be better than Life's a Trip, something that will be his magnum opus, that will have him on rare form, better again, better than Life's a Trip. But until then, right now, I'm sad. I'm sad. I feel like it's the way that Drake fans look at some of his music, where it's like, well, nothing was the same. Or no. If you're reading this, it's too late. Some people like consider that his best album. I'm one of them. I think it's really good. Some people it's like nothing was the same, all that stuff. But one thing's for certain, after nothing was the same, it was like a downhill trend of like, this isn't what he used to be like the way he was making music. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't have that passion, for quote unquote. But you know, again, her loss is pretty good. I liked it. It was like a 7 to an 8 for me for sure. Better than honestly, never mind. But regardless, Trippie Redd, Mansion music. If I had to give it a rating, it is a 4. His music, this music is not meant for mansions. Is meant for falling asleep, dog. I am so tired of it, and I keep dragging on it. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to anybody who likes Trippie Redd, to anybody who doesn't like Trippie Redd, if it's even Trippie Redd listening to this himself. It probably won't be. Like, well, not probably. He won't be because I have 50 subs, bro. Man has like millions of listeners. There's no way that he doesn't get like reviews, I guess, quote unquote, and ignore them. Like the man doesn't care. He's rich. He has money. He has classics. Well, excuse me. He has albums, multiple albums produced. He's fine. He does not need an opinion of somebody like me to affect him. He's chilling. But I'm just gonna be waiting and seeing what happens. But thank you all for watching. Hope y'all enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next video. I don't plan on doing music reviews. I'm just talking about something that I found interesting, or something that affected me on a grander scale. So, don't expect these to be a common thing. But yeah, just sharing my thoughts, right? But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.